Shalom, friends. Enjoy this smooth, continuous narrative filled with ancient Hebrew imagery, without verse numbers or breaks, so it flows like a chattical story of Galatians. We intentionally left key Hebrew words untranslated to preserve the meaning. Please see our verse-by-verse rendering for more clarity. With that said, let's begin. From Paul, a shaliach, one sent not from men, nor through the hand of man, but through Yeshua, the anointed King, and Yahweh, the Father, who raised him from the dead ones, together with all the brothers of the clan who are with me. To the gatherings of the Galatians, Chen and Shalom, Yahweh's favor freely given, and his wholeness that binds life together, be upon you from Yahweh our Father, and from our Master Yeshua, the anointed King, who offered himself as zevach, a covenant sacrifice for our chata, to pull us out from this present twisted age, according to the desire of Yahweh our Father. To him be kavod, the weight and splendor, through all the horizons of olam upon olam. So let it be. I am astonished that you are so quickly straying from the one who called you by his chen in the anointed King, turning instead to another so-called besorah. But there is no other. It is only that some are stirring up dust in your camp and twisting the besorah of the anointed King until it bends out of true shape. But even if we, or a malach from the Shemayim, were to proclaim to you another message of good news besides the one you received, let him be set under herem, cut off, devoted to destruction. As I said before, so I say again now, if anyone proclaims to you a besorah different from what you first received, let him be under herem. For am I now seeking the approval of men or of Elohim? If I were still bending my steps to please men, I would not be a servant bound to the anointed King. Brothers, I want you to know that the besorah I announced is not shaped by man. I did not receive it from man, nor was I taught it. It was unveiled to me by Yeshua, the anointed King. For you heard of my former way among the traditions of the Yehudim, how I hunted down the qahal of Elohim and sought to tear it down. I was advancing beyond many of my peers in zeal for the inherited traditions of my fathers. But when it pleased Yahweh, who had set me apart even from my mother's womb, and who called me by his chen, to unveil his ben within me, so that I might declare him among the goyim, I did not immediately seek counsel from basar and blood, nor did I go up to Yerushalayim to those who were shlichim before me. Instead, I went into Arabia, and later returned again to Damascus. Then after 3 years, I went up to Yerushalayim to visit Kepha, and I stayed with him 15 days. I saw none of the other shlichim except Yaakov, the brother of our master. I assure you, before Yahweh, I do not lie in what I write. Afterward, I went into the regions of Syria and Cilicia. I was still unknown by face to the qahal gatherings in Yehudah, who are in the anointed King. They only kept hearing this report. The one who once hunted us now announces the imanah he once tried to destroy, and they gave kavod to Yahweh because of me. After 14 years, I went up again to Jerusalem. Barnabas walked with me, and Titus too. I went because of a revelation, and I set before the leaders the besorah I proclaim among the nations. I laid it before those of high standing in private, to be sure the race I was running was not emptied of its purpose, and not even Titus, though he was a Greek, was compelled to take on circumcision. This issue arose because of false brothers smuggled in among us, creeping secretly to spy on the freedom we have in the anointed Yeshua, hoping to drag us back into chains. But we did not yield to them, not even for a moment, so that the straight path of the besorah would remain firm for you. As for those considered to be pillars, whatever honor they once had means nothing before Elohim, who does not lift up one man's face above another. They added nothing to me. On the contrary, they saw that the besorah for the nations had been entrusted to me, just as the besorah for the circumcised was entrusted to Cephas. For the same Elohim who worked powerfully in Cephas for his mission to the circumcised was working with equal strength in me for the nations. When Yaakov, Cephas, and Yochanan, regarded as pillars, recognized the favor poured out on me, they extended to me and Barnabas the right hand of fellowship, agreeing that we would walk the trail to the nations, while they would walk the trail to the circumcised. The only thing they asked was that we not forget the poor, and this very thing I was eager to do. We'll pause here and continue in our next episode.